Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction and based on Elliott Wave analysis, and starting on the 15-minute chart on this range of that impulse that we saw the last 2 days. We are looking for a 1, 2, 3 and 4 and possibly for a wave 5 towards the upside. Now the only problem in this impulse is our wave 5 in this area, where everything was working perfectly as 1, 2, flat, 3 hitting exactly the 1.6 and getting a wave 4 perfectly alternating with wave 2, of course, and even deeper than wave 2. So everything was working perfectly until we were becoming into finishing a diagonal, and suddenly, of course, we were waiting for the last wave, the last small wave of this impulse to finish, and then suddenly we got a drop towards the downside, invalidating this diagonal for a wave 5, and therefore open another scenario for all what is going on because we cannot really count 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 yet. We need to count for a wave 5, whether an impulse or at least a diagonal, an ending diagonal. So in that case, we cannot really call that an impulse has ended. We are looking here for a very complex wave, possibly that this diagonal has extended, where we have here a zigzag for a wave 1 and then another zigzag for a wave 2 and another zigzag for a wave 3 and here a wave 4 also as a zigzag, and now we are still looking for one last final wave towards the upside for a diagonal, ending diagonal, finishing a zigzag as well in this box of targets around the 58,700 and 58,800. So in that case, if that happened and we hit this targets, that would be perfect to finish, of course, a diagonal. However, if we reach over the 1-to-1 of this target, if the price continue to move up over this 1-to-1 target, then the diagonal even might be invalidated again, and we are looking to something really different here and is not an impulse anymore. And here goes to a bearish/bullish scenario where we want to see more higher prices. However, at the end, it's going to add in a bearish scenario because it's going to move or transfer this whole thing into 3 waves towards the upside. So the things are, if we see higher prices than the 50,900, this might turn into a W as a 3-wave zigzag W. Then we have here an X as also zigzag, and we're gonna see another zigzag here towards the upside, finishing a wave Y and also in zigzag. So we're gonna be looking at triple zigzag complex structure WXY. And yeah, normally the targets of a Y finishes, of course, in between the 1-to-1 or the 0.618, which is between the 59,000 and 61,000. So we're gonna see possibly higher prices. However, this at the end is considered as corrective and 3 structures, right? As if we want to combine all these zigzag A, B, and a C kind of, and that, yeah, finish it as 3 waves towards the upside. That means you want to see continuation towards the downside, or another, of course, pattern towards the downside in case we did not create an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, we cannot say like directly that is continuation from here, because here is also now considered 3 waves, right? So we are having 3 waves down, 3 waves up, then possibly again 3 waves down, as you said, combining this again as a WXY and finishing, of course, as a B and a C towards the downside, and then we want to move up again towards the upside. Of course, as I said, we have a CME gap still to cover, so we are still looking forward to get some lower prices, at least to cover this CME gap, and preferably that we cover it in a wave 2 after an impulse. That would be the most bullish scenario. In case that we don't close it with a potential wave 2, that means, okay, we might be bearish and we might continue a little bit for lower prices. So to watch now, all what I can say is that we need to get over this step by step. The first step, of course, is to finish this diagonal. In case this is a diagonal, right, we still need one wave towards the upside. Finishing a diagonal, if that finishes here perfectly without reaching the 1-to-1 fib level, that would be great, because of course it's gonna end an impulse, at least in a good way, with all the patterns as required. If not, if we see higher prices than this, yeah, then we are in a wave Y. Okay, in WXY, it means this is a corrective, and we are looking, of course, for higher prices first, but then we're gonna move down again for another pattern. However, if we finish a wave 5 beautifully, and yeah, we confirm that this is a nice impulse, then we want to look, of course, towards the downside, closing this gap, preferably closing this gap, because we want to close it from the beginning. If we want to be bullish for a 100K scenario, you don't want to have a CME gap still open the whole time, right? Which it can affect some prices later on, and then, okay, yeah, that is a CME gap, I need to close it, okay? In higher prices, then we lose everything we have built towards the 100K scenario, and yeah, then just to close the CME gap and then start over again. So these are my analysis for today. I know that it was specified for the price action on the 15-minute much more, because yeah, this is what decides where to go at the end, up or down. So these are the things. Now, we don't forget our scenario. We are much more potentially bullish. We have several bullish scenarios that we need to cover before even going to any bearish scenario. So if you want to stay in this video, of course, I'm going to recap a little bit the scenarios that we have on our chart. If you would like to be much more clear, of course, before the weekend starts. So we have 3 bullish scenarios which have higher possibilities. While we have also 3 bearish scenarios, which it has very, very low possibilities. So, starting with the bearish scenario, why we have like low possibilities for the bearish? Because the first one is a multiple 1-2. Let's say, of course, we have here finished 3 waves rather than an impulse, right? A, B, C. And we don't have here like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are looking for 5. So let's consider this is ABC because we are bearish, right? So if that is ABC, then we are looking, of course, for a multiple 1-2 after here as 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, which is very, very low possibility when you start to see several 1-2s without a continuation of a wave 3 already towards the downside. So what you want to see here is a continuation for the prices to continue your wave 3 towards the downside and not really going back after having 3 waves, by the way, 1, 2, 3, and then going back. This is not an impulse. This is not a wave 3 towards the downside. So it's impossible to be bearish so far. We don't see any 5 waves towards the downside. We have an expanding diagonal as wave 1-2 possible, but very, very rare. This is the most rare scenario that you would see. It was Elliott Wave is 5 waves in expanding diagonal where the waves start to get bigger and bigger. And then we are finishing with a wave 2. Now, this scenario also have lower possibility because if this is your wave 2, then this is your wave 3. Okay, if you want to start a wave 3, you have already now created a 1, but your 1 is just 3 waves. So, and it cannot be now impulsive because if you touch already the wave 2 as a wave 4, so it's not impossible even now to continue as bearish. So therefore it has a still lower possibility. As a wave C in a zigzag finishing sideways, yes, very possible. This is your most possible scenario maybe, but the only problem that you have is that you don't have an impulse. So the thing is that you have here a W as a zigzag, and you have here a finished running flat as X, and you are looking for a zigzag to finish this Y. And yeah, to finish this Y, you need a zigzag, right? And a zigzag need to be impulse 3 waves up and then impulse. So you need 5 waves down, 3 waves up, and 5 waves down. This is your zigzag, right? Those 5 waves can be normal impulse or diagonal. Here, we cannot see, again, any kind of impulse. We see only 3 waves towards the downside. We cannot have an impulse anymore because it has been invalid. Therefore, also the possibility goes very, very low, even for more lower prices. I hope that this was clear. Without seeing any impulse, any clear impulse or 5 waves towards the downside, we cannot claim any bearish scenario. Therefore, the possibilities are very, very low to be bearish now. I'm interested only in being bullish. Now, let's move to the bullish scenarios. What is the most possible one? The most possible one is our 100K scenario, right? Is because why? It's not just because I love to see 5 digits, as we all like to do, but it is what it is. We have already a ready impulse. We are in the last wave of an impulse towards the upside, towards the 5 digits. So I'm not a moon boy, but it would be nice to have it just for the moon boys as well who likes it. But the things are that, okay, we have already a set impulse, a big impulse on a daily chart, right? And we have a perfect impulse from all manners based on Elliott Wave, alternation of 2 and wave 4. So yeah, I mean, this is your highest possibility to just get this final wave and finish your impulse, okay? Therefore, it has the highest possibility. And the beautiful thing, that was from 2 weeks scenario, and it's still the only one who's still surviving from the last weeks, which is hitting or finishing a wave 2, which it should be wave 2, 3 waves towards the downside, hitting the 0.78 fib level. And this is exactly what happened. Your wave 2, after having a wave 1 here, you got a 3 waves down, hitting exactly the 0.78 fib level. This was our last chance and our strongest bullish scenario, okay? So once we break this level down, we cannot consider this 100K anymore. The beautiful thing is it has reversed exactly on that level. That opens the possibilities that yes, we are in a very, very big bullish scenario towards the upside. So therefore, it has a higher possibility. Now, possibility 2 is that we still ranging. We're still ranging in a wave 4, and we have a zigzag, okay? A wave C for a zigzag, as you can see in the yellow label. We are looking after finished A, B, C, your C finished here, you are looking for a zigzag for a wave C. Touching the 1-to-1, taking this one from the bottom of the C here to the top of the A, of course, and to the base point of the B, giving us the fib level at 69,350. So this is your minimum bullish scenario. This, what you see now, your wave C, is your minimum target as a bullish. And this has a very high possibility. That means in all scenarios now, because we are very bullish and the potential is very bullish, the 69,350 is the minimum target of of being bullish, right? This is your minimum target. That means, yeah, no financial advice. You can discover what does it mean. So wave C in diagonal shape of expanding flat, finishing a wave X in WXY. So as well, the same thing here. We are still in a sideways, okay, and we are looking for a WXY, where we have finished, of course, ABC exactly here. The W has finished here. We didn't finish a running flat, which is less possible. We are looking at an expanding flat. A, B, your B has overshooted the start of the A perfectly. And then you are looking for a wave C towards the upside. And your wave C should be a diagonal, right? Towards the upside. So this is your second most possible target as bullish, which is around the 68,000 and $70,000 for Bitcoin. Therefore, after finishing this zigzag and then expanding flat, you want to look one more zigzag for a wave Y, and then we move up impulsively and explosively to our 100K scenario. So these are the things, right? The highest possibility is still I go for 100K even. However, your minimum target is this scenario, wave C zigzag, in 60% at least. And yeah, even higher can be reached. By the way, those two, the first and the third, have the same targets, the 1.618, because 1.618 is a wave 3 and also wave C for expanding flat. Therefore, those both scenarios has the same targets, and therefore the possibility goes higher. When you have two scenarios in confluence with the same target, so you want to give them, of course, highest possibility. And that's it for today. I hope that I didn't took so much time from your day, and I hope that I explained exactly and precisely, accurately the scenarios and why I'm looking for bullish more than bearish scenarios, because in grosso modo, we call it like in a big picture, we can see that we are bullish much more than bearish. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for your likes and for your kind words. It motivates me all the time. I appreciate it.